We made it through the first official week of BC WrestlePod scheduling in 2026. We did it.
We
Thank you.
survived.
We survived.
Huzzah!
We survived. Yay. But hello, all my BC WrestlePod nerds out there, and welcome to the first official Takedown Troupe Post-Show Breakdown of 2026 for TNA Wrestling. Of course, you got the dynamic duo here. My name is Mikey, also known as El Jefe of BC WrestlePod. And of course, joining me this evening is the one and only Mr. Radio Free Will, who, I'm excited. It I'm excited just to talk this show with you because I was just like, on paper, this was pretty okay. It wasn't the best thing, but there was a shining moment, and we probably might have it be the same or it might be different. But you know what? We're gonna get through this together because we are officially. This is it. This is the last of the Final Resolution tapings that we had afterwards, and we are finally here. We get the official AMC debut next Thursday. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that a little bit later, though. But yeah, I'm happy to have you here, my friend. I can't wait.
Oh yeah, no, it's like I said before we went live, there was some shining, there was a shining moment in this one that I really appreciated. And I have some, it's me. I'm going to dissect things and overthink things and all that. So get ready for that. Everybody get your glasses of brandy and prepare your smoking jackets because we're going to get downright philosophical and literary with wrestling here later on.
Oh, 100%. And that's going to be really fun to talk about. But I don't want to take up too much of our announcement time because I do want to get into this because, again, we are getting closer and closer, not only to the AMC debut, but we are literally at this point a week out until TNA Genesis. So we'll talk about a little bit about that too. But if you are new here to BC WrestlePod, or if you've been rocking for us for the last 3 and some odd change years, we're happy that you are here for the ride. So feel free to explore to our YouTube, our Twitch, and all the good Kick and all the good video platforms that this is available on, and check out all of our stuff. If you're looking for something a little bit smaller but still want your information and to be able to hang out and do stuff, interact with our little community, you can pick your favorite social media site and you can follow us at BC WrestlePod, where we have report cards, we have previews, we do predictions, we have brought back the clips. I'm trying to say a mouthful all at once. So I'm excited. It's really, really fun. It means a little bit more work for me, but honestly, it's really fun to do this because I love professional wrestling. We all love professional wrestling here, and it's great. So, yes. And you know what? Because of where we're going, I love seeing new folks just pop in. So, what's up? So, this is going to be fun. And of course, the last two things, we have some merchandise at our shop, bcwrestlepodshop.forthwall.com. The new designs are coming this weekend, I promise, because my artistic and slightly artist perfectionism in my brain was just like, I like this design. 5 seconds later, I should probably change something. But I finally found some designs I really like, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So those are coming this weekend. And of course, we have our little coffee bot if you want to help us proverbially, metaphorically and sometimes actually keep the lights on here at BC WrestlePod, but in reality
it's all actual help, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional is what the differentiate. Now I'm forgetting words. Damn it.
It's okay. The English language is a thing. So no, but the coffee bot will be popping up ever so often, and they help us keep the lights on. They also help us pay for these pay-per-views that we gotta buy from time to time as well. Because I was just like, listen, I love that for the most part. Like, I don't have to spend like $50 for every single company we cover here, but also AEW and the TNA Big Four pay-per-views, we still gotta pay for y'all. So we gotta do this right here, man. We gotta do it, but it's okay though because it's worth it, and it brings us together because we love wrestling.
Yep.
Alrighty, now that we got the niceties out of the way, let's dissect this show because, again, as I said before we went live, these are the final last things that they had left to air. after the 2-night taping after TNA's Final Resolution pay-per-view, which was at the beginning of December. And now we're getting into the AMC debut of TNA. So let's just jump straight into how we kicked things off with the show, which was, of course, literally on the placard, it said the Hardys kick off TNA Impact. So Matthew and Jeffrey here.
Good old Mutton Jeff.
Yep. They have some beef because last week they were backstage with lovely Gia Miller. They went to their locker room and found that their locker room was turned into a whole entire shrine dedicated to them, a la Hey Arnold style, just without the gigantic football head.
Well, also real quick, that picture of Matt Hardy is at least 5 years old.
I was gonna say, I was just like, where are we getting these pictures? I know you all got some current ones. I was like, what is happening?
Jeff looks more or less the same because he's either frequently made up and or has pickled himself. But it's
I was just like, okay. So they have beef, and so the Righteous are the ones, of course, that set up this shrine last week. So Matthew and Jeffrey here, they get to the ring. They get on the mic. They have issues with the Righteous. They call them out. The Righteous come out. Still love their entrance. I was just like...
I freaking love the Righteous.
I love it. And I forgot their social media handle, but I found on the TikToks, as the kids say, I found the photographer who did all that stuff. And
Yep.
She's also the one that did the photo shoot with Brian Cage and everything. Mm-hmm. Like,
she did
fantastic.
She did Julia Hart and
the Triangle of Madness stuff, which is
one.
Great.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just like, I want to live your life. You are amazing. Great. Some great stuff, and I'm definitely going to make sure to shout her out properly next week because I love the stuff. But the Righteous come out. We get the back and forth between the two. The Hardys are looking for a fight. The Righteous are like, nah, man, you have to chill. We're not here to fight. We're just here to talk. And I'm just like,
then you should have joined Total Nonstop Debate.
I was like, okay. Here's the one thing I will say about this, because we knew where this was going, and I'll get into that little picture in a little bit. But I do like to say that I do, and I've always been a big fan of the Righteous. I do like that we are playing mind games instead of like them targeting the Hardys, because most of the time, especially when we talk about the tag team division, it's just like they fight each other backstage or they get jumped, and so then that's how matches get made for titles. But this one is just like, did the Hardys like unintentionally agree to a match against them, just like through psychological warfare? I was just like, okay.
The mind games worked.
They did, because I mean, like I said, the Righteous come out. This happens. The mind games work because we now have this. We have this match happening at Genesis for the TNA World Tag Team Championships. The Hardys taking on the Righteous.
Okay, hold on. This image. Look at Matt. He's just so happy to be here. Everyone else is like Vincent and Dutch, they have their whole like menacing thing going on. Jeff has his, game face on, no pun intended. And Matt's just like, hey guys, I'm ready for a good old contest of fisticuffs.
He's like, I am here. He's like, yes, I am here for the sport. He's that one friend. He doesn't really follow wrestling, but he likes the things, and he does, and we take him along with us anyways.
It's the same energy as Santino Marella in the promo before the steel cage match a couple of weeks ago.
That is very, very true. Oh my gosh, last week me and Papa also had a fun time. Just be like, wow, Santino's really depressed, you guys. Like, what is happening? Oh my goodness. Cloaklex is like, I miss all the wrestling. It's crazy. The Hardys are still going after all this time. And so here's the thing. The Hardy Boys are always going to be an act. I mean, fair. Those are also years I tend to purge from my memory. For the 2010s wrestling, especially from a certain company, was really bad. I was like, purging from my memory.
Hold on. Hold on. 2016, both companies.
Yes.
2016, because wasn't 2016 around the time Hogan was in TNA?
Oh yeah. So actually, yeah, or a little bit earlier around it, but yeah, that was the Dixie Carter days too. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, and WWE. That's when WWE was ever like, hey guys, what have we heard about this guy Roman Reigns? He's pretty cool, right? He's a great guy. Don't you want to love Roman Reigns? It's like, and
what
everyone's
a time to be alive, because that was also the time where we got like brand specific pay-per-views. I was like, why are there 2 pay-per-views in a month for one company? But it is what it is. Here's the thing, but all to say, I love the Hardys. The Hardys are like universally liked and loved by wrestling fans across all the spectrums to various degrees. I kind of want to see the Righteous with the titles.
Oh yeah, me too. 100%. Absolutely. That's like
because I think the Hardys would be fun to chase the titles, but it also offers up like fresh matches in the tag team division.
Fresh matches in the tag team division. Get some new blood in here. Like, and I mean, you know me. I have been saying pretty much since I started joining you on this show, like, Matt, Jeff, love you to death, but it's time to hang them up. Like, put it this way. They had their career. I believe they've been wrestling for longer than Chris Jericho has. And Chris Jericho is getting the please retire chance.
For real. Oh, man. So, again, TNA, I could pleasantly surprise me by having the Righteous go over and with the tag titles, but also the pessimistic person to me was like, yeah, the Hardys will probably retain. And that's not a bad thing because I do like the Hardys, but I think the Righteous having the tag titles for a little bit would be really great, and to get fresh new things inside this men's tag team division for TNA. Because Lord knows that the Knockouts tag team division is struggling. We'll get to it when we preview next week's episode, because I was like, again? I was like, well, I mean, there's no other teams right now that's not involved in other things. So, but yeah, so this is the first of 3 new matches that get made because of this episode. So we are getting the Hardys and the Righteous for the TNA World Tag Team Championships. Hey, keep going. Go for it.
They're doing their homework ahead of time. They're being responsible. They're not cramming all the match announcements in the night before the goddamn pay-per-view.
That's very, very true. They are actually doing their homework, and I was like, you know what? You're making me care about this. And then immediately I was like, no, not again. I thought we were done with this.
Hello, wrestling's Rorschach.
Lord help us. So first, it starts off with Gia Miller interviewing Steve Maclin, who has a rematch for the TNA International Championship in this episode. And as he is speaking, Eric Young interrupts him and, talks about, again, phrasing is everything and wording is a thing. I know we're just doing a full send with this, but I was just like, Eric Young, you keep telling us that the cleanse is coming. Still don't like the optics of that.
Yeah, that's okay. But, look, and especially this week, like, look, I know they taped this weeks ago, but you guys know you can edit your shit, right?
We could have
during a week, and yeah, I'm good. Like, it's the news right now. An innocent person was killed by a
governing body. Yeah.
Well, not even really governing body. Like, it's kind of vigilantism out there, but you could have edited this out.
But we did not. Listen, I love you, TNA, and I'll even throw NXT in here too. But I don't know who you have on the creative team that bypasses the names of these things. But between the cleanse and NXT's The Culling, I was just like, what is happening right now? But Eric Young warned Steve Maclin that he's tried to tell him and that he needs to get it together because the cleanse is coming. And Macklin's just like, bro, get out of here. Like,
I just want someone to sneak up behind Eric Young and put a tinfoil hat on his head.
Seriously. Honestly, I kind of be down for his character. The character, not what he's talking about, more if he had a tinfoil hat. The optics need to be clear.
They need to pivot this from like, I am a serious, dangerous vigilante to like, the voices.
Clip it now. Oh Lord, I love it.
The voices said something funny.
I was just like, and then it just evolves into Pee Wee Herman. Ha ha. Alrighty, let's keep going. Oh man, we're gonna have fun tonight. So we keep the show going though, because after this though, we get into our first match. But I was just like, this match served the purpose that it needed to, and I was very happy. But
this was my shining moment.
Yeah,
this was my shining moment in this episode. So okay, here we go. The soapbox is coming out. TNA is very obviously putting Danny Luna where Masha Slamovich used to be. And that is quite possibly the smartest thing they could have done. Danny, especially leaning into this new nickname of her, Doomsday Danny Luna. That's poetry. Okay. That is brilliant. And just coming out with the dog collar like that, coming out with the chain, the dog collar thing, and having it like go to the cameraman. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, the way that she pulls the chain and pulls the camera in closer to her. Yeah. I like, yes, I love this.
This is brilliant. And it's like, honest, like, and I like on it, like maybe it's just because I am such, an AEW mark. Like she's kind of she's kind of giving me the same energy as Mark Briscoe without being quite as funny as Mark Briscoe is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but that same kind of intensity, and I was thinking about this while I was watching it, because like I saw as soon as I saw what this image came up, I'm like, okay, this is going to be a squash match. I understand that. Like going in, Danny, like the way they've positioned Danny Luna over the last few weeks, and Harley Hudson, I think this is maybe the second time I've seen her in the ring in 6 months. Mm-hmm. And like, okay, I understand this is going to be a squash match. I was like, okay, here we go, squash match. I usually don't like squash matches. This was a brilliant squash match. And the reason for it, the reason why it was a brilliant squash match is twofold. Because number one, Danny Luna looks strong as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, Harley Hudson sold the fear.
Yep.
Because it's this notion, like you could see her hesitance to go down into the ring with Danny.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of that psychology, like it gets into the psychology of the performance of professional wrestling. 99 times out of 100, when you have a squash match booked, it is big time ass kicker versus local jobber number 12, right? The guy doesn't even get an entrance, right? And so the only chance he really has to sell is you're getting in the ring, and like while the other person's coming down the ramp, the announcers are like, oh yeah, and this guy goes and then gets his ass kicked. That's how it goes. Like, and once again, it's kind of a tradition. There's nothing wrong with that. But by bringing up someone from the very bottom of the card, like Harley Hudson, no offense to her, and I don't mean that with any offense. I'm just stating how she's been booked. And give her that moment of coming into the ring and having that moment of hesitance.
Mm-hmm.
It plays with your expectations. It plays with your thing of like, it's one of those things like, because when you start thinking like, oh, this is a squash match, then the losing team in a squash match comes in all bravado and gusto and like, hey, I can do this. This is my big opportunity. And as soon as you see that, no, they're dead. And this flips that script. It flips that by thinking like, oh, she's hesitant. Maybe she'll find that confidence in the ring and sort of overcome it. No, of course she didn't.
No.
But like, because by playing with those expectations, it gets you thinking about other like possibilities of what may happen here. And therefore, when it does end up being a squash match, and then her tag team partner comes in and gets squashed, and Zaya Brookside comes in and gets squashed, and Lei Ying Lee comes in and gets squashed. Like,
and she gets choked out. Yeah,
it's perfect. It is the perfect instance of a squash match, especially if you want to build someone up that. And I know we have had a lot of discussions about Indy Hartwell. You and I disagree on her talent, her skill, everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when your experiment with Indy Hartwell hasn't super worked, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And you need someone new. This is what you do.
100%. Everything worked well for this one.
You take someone who's like just on the cusp, just like on the precipice of being in that main event, being that top tier performer, and just let her crush everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean,
make her look like a badass, and make me wish I was in the ring to get picked up and slammed by her myself. You know, it's
like, welcome to BC WrestlePod Hour. No, I was kidding. Listen, there's the BC, and BC WrestlePod stands for Biconic. I was just like, we are an eclectic group of different individuals, from allies to different spectrums of the. I forgot what one of comedian I follow calls it, Le Guibitit Qua or something like that, Be like, hello, LGBT. So I was just like, okay.
You know what? It's someone actually pointed out to me, it's quilt bag.
Quilt bag, love that. We're just a plethora. We're just a quilt bag, you guys. But I mean, listen, we all have dreams. No, but I 100% agree with you, Radio. The fact that from beginning to end, from the match itself to everything that happened afterwards, this is how you set up the dominant heel, which, you know, this Knockouts division kind of really needs right now.
Yep.
Because we don't really have like that big dominant heel. I mean, we have heels per se, but they're either relegated.
It's not even a face or a heel. It's a dominant force.
Yeah,
because like I said, she's coming in basically picking up where Masha Slamovich left off, which I understand why Masha Slamovich isn't there anymore. But like they were missing that. So you need that irresistible force kind of performance, that kind of performer, and I think they found the perfect one with Danny Luna.
100%. And everything that happened from the match to everything afterwards has me excited for, you know, what we got announced later, which I'm going to put right here, though, because we're getting this match. And I was just like, I would love to see Danny win because that'd be kind of fun. I still think that Liang Li might hold it for a little bit longer, but honestly, I'm okay with this feud continuing after Genesis.
Yeah.
So I'm also jealous that Papa Oso will be in the house for this one. I'm like, no! I was like, I want to see you. I was like, you're getting all the fun matches for Genesis, darn it.
Yeah, but this is going to be a hell of a match. This is going to be. Yeah, this is going to be fantastic.
It's going to be good. It's going to be a banger, as the kids say. Oh man. So I was like, you know what? Beginning of the show, we're having a good time. I was just like, you know what? I'm digging this. I'm not going to lie. As small as this next moment was, shout out to Mara Sade. She is my hero.
Yep. So I had a moment watching this because when I heard Mara Sade say, what I want for you is to go away, Ryan, I'm sitting here going like, I heard the words, but I didn't feel my lips move. What happened?
Oh, Lord. So Mara Sade is backstage. Somehow, Ryan Nemeth thinks that her beating him up and just telling him to go away equates to, I'm kind of digging you. I was just like, okay.
Hey Ryan, tell me you have a FetLife account without telling me you have a FetLife account.
Not the MetLife account.
Hey, we don't kink shame here.
We
don't
don't.
kink shame, like, by all means. And once again, like, if that's your jam, there are way worse people that you could get beat up by than Mara Sade. Okay?
That is very true. This whole thing was so funny because Mara made it very clear. She's like, no, end of discussion, go away. Ryan, but Mara leaves. Ryan's like, she digs me. And then he gets super kicked and sells the heck out of it. I was just like, yes, Mara, you are my hero. And actually, I can't believe I'm saying this. Ryan Nemeth, you sold that. And this was actually pretty funny from you too.
Yeah. It's those Nemeth boys. They are human ragdolls.
For reals. I was just like, man, it's crazy. So I was like, Mara, you're my hero now. And again, everything so far, I was just like, this is actually not a bad episode. I mean, there's still some stuff I'm going to critique about, but I'm having a good time with everything so far. I have questions.
Yeah, is Ash back?
So, I mean, Ash is not like clear. She's not going to be wrestling in the ring, but I know she was I know she's still with TNA, like doing stuff in the back, but I guess they're going to put her on, at least on camera, which is fine because it doesn't require her to take bumps and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not the question I had. The question is, I was like, I know we've been looking for Mr. Elegance this whole time, and I'm just sitting here. I was just like, I have so many questions.
This is weird.
This was weird. So I forgot to put the picture in, but like this whole time, this to me was like Baby's first film student because the cuts were weird. Like the way that everybody was acting, I was just like, what pheromone just got released in this room? What is happening? I was just like, the way that the Elegance girls were looking at this man, I was like, what the hell did I just watch? It
was like Happening level acting, like the movie The Happening. You know, Mark Wahlberg. What? No.
So they're just like they think everybody, including Mr. Iceman here, think this is the guy is great. And then the girl, I was like, okay, this is a little weird, but I can get with it. And then they started saying, take it off. I'm like, oh my God, and then the man takes his shirt off. Then they're going to work with it. They leave. And then I was just like, okay, that was a little bit weird. But then it got weirder because we had like a random person come out from under the table saying they have to protect the Elegance brand. I was like, who the fuck is this dude?
Yeah.
I was like, what?
I saw that. I saw them like, did I miss? Like, I know I missed a week, but like, how much did I miss in a week?
No, this man is new because this is the first time. I was just like,
also,
this is the first time I've seen this man. Who the hell are you?
Also, bro, we know why you were under the table in front of the Elegance brand.
It's like, God. I was just like, listen, radio, I don't know if this is going to be the correct thing to say, but it's just like, I have so many questions. I'm interested to see where it goes, but I'm also quite frightened. I need an adult.
So I have a theory.
Is it an Austin theory? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it is going to be in San Antonio, which is pretty close.
That's true.
So the theory that I have here is one of two things. This guy here is going to be their Mr. Elegance brand.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're going to have to walk a very fine line, whether they're going to make that a joke or where they're going to try to make that like a body positivity thing, you know? Because once again, when you look at this guy, like your brain is not immediately going to go like, oh, not wrestler physique. But then like there are plenty of people out there, plenty of wrestlers over the course of wrestling history that don't have the wrestler physique. I mean, honestly, like two of my favorite wrestlers of all time are Mick Foley and Dusty Rhodes. Like, and neither of them were this,
Right.
Atlas super cut
Like-
kind of thing. Like they or also like I mean and Eddie Kingston, like people like that.
Yes.
They're
They
just
got
kind of
Unkabod, as I call it. They got Unkabod.
yeah, like they have the physique of normal dudes, but they're still doing this thing. For all we know, this guy is one of those kind of people,
Right.
And they will play it. Once again, they'll have to walk a very fine line, because to do that and try to promote this as this guy can be beautiful in a body positivity way would be kind of cool if they wanted to do an elegance brand like face turn kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also some really easy potholes for them to fall into to make it kind of fat shamey,
Yeah.
So that's one theory I have. The other theory is because they made a couple of references about calling this the raw material.
Mm-hmm.
They will bring this guy in, do their makeover, and then out steps I don't know, like the first name of like unfairly attractive wrestler that comes to mind is John Morrison. But I know he's still signed with AEW, but it's like that caliber of like physique and like,
yeah,
and that's not great either. But like, it's weird. I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go, and for this to pay off well is going to be very difficult, I think.
It definitely is. And then there's that part. And then, of course, you had Mr. Then you have Homeboy underneath the table.
Yeah.
I was just like, I have so many questions, TNA. And, of course, we'll be here to watch you every single week. So, very, very interested. But, yeah, I was just like, for real, like, Godspeed. May the wrestling gods be with us in this one.
Hey, and don't forget, all it takes is a simple space bar to turn Godspeed into Godspeed.
God, this is why we can't be left alone. I was like, God, it's such a different. I have such a different. I mean, it's gonna happen. You have different dynamics with different hosts, but I was just like, this is why the two of us can't be in the room together.
It's at about this point that like JT or Papa Osa would be like, "Oh my God, you guys."
No, 100%. All right, we got to keep going because we still got the other half of the show to talk about. But this was kind of a mess. So prior to this, right, everybody's looking for Order 4, and then we see Elijah, who has beat up Order 4 backstage, lying with the guitar and some stuff.
With it was just Agent Zero, right? Or did I miss something?
It was just Agent Zero that got beat up because everybody else was out here for this, Genesis address to the people. We've seen this done before, so it was kind of the same format where Ali talks about it. Now, because it's Ali, I didn't have an issue with it because white person. So I was like, okay, he's doing the heel stuff. At least it's not a white person doing it, so the optics aren't as bad. But I was just like, now, Ali, I know you speak 3 different languages. So I was like, and Spanish being one of them. But it did the job for me, and I wasn't mad at Ali. Because, again, it was Ali doing it. Now, had one of the Grey Hands did it, we might have had some issues.
Okay. The best part about that, though, was not like Ali's lines. Okay? The best part about that was Ali talking, like, responding to the chants of, and forgive me if I get the word wrong, because, mi español es muy mal. But the chants of culero, and there was definitely an "Oh chingo tu madre" chant going in there as well.
Yes.
His responses to that, once again, were funny. Those were funny. The best part about those was that standing to his immediate right is Tasha Steelz, looking at him, who has already mouthed off to the crowd in Spanish, looking at him going,
she's
like shut, no, that's not what they're saying. No.
She played it up, and
that was just
so
chef's
good.
kiss.
And of course, as we all know, Tasha is the Puerto Rican. She is the Boricua badass.
Yeah.
So she knows Spanish. She speaks Spanish. She is great. But yeah, her facial expressions are just, I love them. I really did. So this is all going down into the ring. Then Elijah comes in on a horse. No, like an actual horse. That's not a euphemism for anything. And then Order 4 run out as Elijah gives chase, and then we get into one of my shining moments of the whole entire episode.
This was great. I'm
like watching Tasha the entire time, running and trying not to laugh her ass off as she's running.
This is I do love it when wrestling leans into the ridiculousness of what they do. You know, it is. I love a good over the top ridiculous wrestler, someone with it that can bring a sense of humor to it, that can, and not just a sense of humor in the sense of like, oh, they made funny insults, but like, it's why I love Joe Hendry, it's why I love Danhausen, it's why I love Orange Cassidy. Hell, it's even I would even go so far as to say it's the reason I love Toni Storm, even though she's also playing it deadly serious. It's like she is one of those people that just sort of like threads the needle of being like, yes, this is over the top and ridiculous, but I will still fucking destroy you. You know, it's but yeah, just this, like stuff like this where you could play yakety sax over it and have the same.
I was about to say. I was just like, I'm not gonna lie. I for a hot second, I was just like, they're not gonna do what I think they're going to. But then they played, they played like I was like, oh, okay, but still, great time. Tasha trying not to laugh was probably one of the highlights of this thing. I was just like, you know what? Wrestling is silly, and I love it. I really, really do. And I was just like, where this show lacked in terms of like in-ring outside of, Danny, Luna, and Harley Hudson with that match doing what it needed to do for Danny, I had a great time with all the segments for the most part. I was like, this is actually pretty good. I was like, all right, TNA, we still got to go. Let's see what happens next. As soon as they announced this last week, I was just like, now Macklin, I loves you. I really do. Mr. Perazzo, I love you dearly. Mr. Deanna Perazzo, I loves you. There is no way in hell they're going to let you get this title back. And you know what? I was just, and this is where my issue lies, right? Because again, TNA picks and chooses when these things air, right? But I'm just like, guys, you had all this in the can already. And I'm just sitting here and I was just like, 2 weeks ago, you had the cage match where it was TNA versus NXT. And then, the NXT stars are beating up Macklin after this match. Spoiler alert, Stax wins because Ariana gives him the finger poke of doom to the eyeball. I was just like, what? And then, the B squad of NXT/WWE Evolve come down to beat up Macklin afterwards. I'm just sitting here and I'm just like, why didn't you have the cage match here instead of what we saw? Because I was like, the finality of TNA versus NXT was that cage match. We are telling things out of order, TNA. You had 3 whole weeks in the can, and this is the order you chose to give us to this. Why?
Actually, no, I think I know why, actually.
Okay.
It's because of it's because of what happens later on in this episode, actually.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because they're playing it off. Santino Marella is a more important character than Steve Macklin.
Yeah, he is.
Which is, okay. You know what? I feel like I've danced around this opinion enough. Steve Macklin's so boring.
As a face he is, I kind of agree with you there. When he was when he was a heel and when he was the world champion in TNA, I dug it, but babyface Macklin does nothing for me right now.
Yeah, no, he's like he's a ham sandwich with no mustard. It's like Like, what's interesting about him? It's and like he doesn't bring anything. He's just like he doesn't even bring any like sort of like, oh, I am an athlete kind of thing. It's like it's he is okay, hold on. It's like it's peak cis white male exceptionalism.
Oh wow.
Like
So, right.
everyone else,
just in case, because there are gonna be some people be like, you didn't give it. Well, here it is now. All right, continue.
It's like, especially given some of the people that he's been facing so far, like Mance Warner, the Southern Psychopath, is sort of because he was feuding with him for a while, has that kind of hillbilly lower class kind of gimmick going on, right? And Macklin he's the military guy. He was in the military. That's his whole gimmick. Except here's the problem. Like, people that have had a military gimmick really leaned into it. I'm talking Sergeant Slaughter. What's his name? Barry Windham, when he was like when Barry Windham came to WWF in like the early 90s, he was like the Survivor or something like that. He was this like deep jungle, came out with like deep jungle face paint and shit like that.
And then even more recent examples too, obviously not with them in WWE, but the Gorillas of Destiny in New Japan.
The Shield.
Yeah, exactly.
Like these guys all like leaned into this military or paramilitary kind of shtick so much harder than Steve Macklin has. If this is gonna be your gimmick, make it your goddamn gimmick. Not enough. If you're gonna sort of skew away from it, your work in the ring has to be more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I will like credit where it's due for him. Okay, I will give him this. Dude has a hell of a Thez press. Like, the way he does a Thez press is honestly the best I've seen since Stone Cold. But that's only like one move in his arsenal. And even like I can't remember, because his finishing move is the caught in the crosshairs, right? Mm-hmm. Puts him in the tree of woe, goes back, does the tag him and bag him thing. I can't remember what move he does. All I remember is tag him and bag him, and then something happens. Is it a spear? Is it a drop kick? Is it a clothesline? I don't know. Like,
I also think that, like, okay, I'm not saying that wrestling moves have to kind of coincide with character presentation. I think my biggest issue is because Macklin right now as a babyface is generic jarhead character.
Yeah.
Yes, I could say jarhead because I am a child of one, so bite me. So I am allowed to say that, okay? No, but in all seriousness, no, it's like he's generic jarhead, which, is fine, but there's got to be some sort of thing to it. So, and I mean, you're talking about like you gave examples of characters that lean hard into that military aspect. Not even like, even if you're not going to lean into hard, you need to have your move set kind of like, it's not just naming it after military terms. Like, it's got to also get that impact. Again, not to compare, because comparison is like, I try to be fair here. Sure. Even though he's out on injury right now in CMLL in Mexico, you have a character, Flip Gordon. Flip Gordon is like military character too, but what makes him stand out is his uniqueness to it. Like, he can hit you hard, but he also does the high flying stuff. I feel that Macklin could work better if he developed a moveset more to stylize, like, I don't know, like a brawler type of jarhead.
Yeah.
Which I think, where he does headbutts and, just will knock the person out.
Well, but and it's funny because his whole, like, all of his, shirts and his whole entrance music, everything like that, is that front toward enemy. And what, like, especially with that whole caught in the crosshairs thing, like I said, I don't know. I can't remember what movie does. I would love it if he did a single leg drop kick, because in WWE that's called a claymore. It's Drew McIntyre's finishing move, named after the type of sword. Claymore is also a type of landmine that says front toward the enemy on it. It's
Macklin, I swear, hire us, my dude. We will get this PR package ready for you.
And like, there's a part of me that's like, I want to give him the credit for that, but like I said, I can't remember what move he does when he does the tag him and bag him thing. Like, I would love to give him the credit for being that clever. You know, if he's saying like, oh, front toward the enemy, claymore. Oh yeah, doesn't Drew do a claymore over there? I'm going to do a claymore too, because it plays into that. I would love to give him the credit for that, you know, but it's also like, it also feels like a B+ worth of credit. Passing, solid, but not like really owning it. You know what I mean?
I think Macklin's biggest issue is that, because again, for those of you who don't know Macklin, I mean, he was in the Fed, he was in NXT.
Oh, was he in WWE?
So he was in NXT. He never got to the main roster. Okay. And the story is, so he was a part of a group called the Forgotten Sons. This was towards the tail end of Black and Gold NXT. Gotcha. And Macklin was part of this group called the Forgotten Sons, and they were basically like the C version of like Sons of Anarchy, right?
Okay.
Now, again, the Fed be doing Fed things. Macklin and everybody in that group got released because the leader had all the isms. He was the racism, the xenophobiaism, like in real life, like not in character. So what ended up happening, instead of letting him go, the whole group got axed and fired. Then Macklin found his way to TNA. And so I think Macklin has kind of tried to evolve this character, because now he's the jarhead in TNA. But I was just like, you are still giving me the shades of the wannabe Sons of Anarchy.
It's honestly, it's a lateral move, because it's going from one empty-headed grunt gimmick to another.
And here's the thing. As a person, I love Macklin. Him and Deanna's podcast is actually really fun to listen to. They have some great conversations. I just want Macklin to start doing some changes here and there. Not big ones, but like, we got to package this in a little bit nicer.
Well, you know what it is? For me, and I was just talking about it, how I like ridiculous wrestling. Macklin has no sense of humor.
Which is crazy, because on the podcast, I was just like, you have a dry sense of humor, but I dig that. But I was like, where?
It's like, it needs to
have a little fun, Macklin. I know you love it.
Exactly. That's just it. He seems like he's never having fun. It's just like, he's just kind of going through the motions.
I was like, you're allowed to have fun too. And again, not to, like, when we don't compare, but watching clips of these wrestlers do crazy things, like, just have a little fun. Just have a little fun on television. Like, again,
yeah.
Like, even though it happens at house shows, like, some of my favorite clips for this past year included like fans having a good time, like when CM Punk ran out in a bath towel and a shower cap in that cage match at a house show, like watching Solo Sikoa twerk, like there's a clip out there. Listen, here's the thing. They on TV, they will never let him be funny, but Solo Sikoa is a funny dude. Like him in NXT was great, because I was like, they let his humor shine. And even at the Money in the Bank this past year, when he was being funny, like, that's the Solo I like. But I kind of agree. I want to see Macklin get a little bit of a sense of humor and inject it in his character. Yeah. You could still be this hardened badass jarhead, but have a little fun with it.
And here's the thing, and it's kind of funny, because like we were talking about him as a face versus a heel. Honestly, when Eric Young interrupted his promo, interrupted the interview, there was a part of me that's like, this would work. Like Macklin and Eric Young working together on this, cleanse thing, on the cleanse, crazy tinfoil hat kind of
conspiracy theory.
Yeah, that could work.
I would like it. The only issue is, and again, this is before your time, but no, I was kidding. Because they kind of were together towards the beginning of last year, but then they did nothing with that. So, I mean,
Fair
they
enough.
could give it a second shot, and I'd be okay with
Yeah.
it. But have Macklin actually be tinfoil full on conspiracy theory would be hilarious.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Stax retains the championship. Santino is still depressed because of him and Ariana. So it's like, okay, all right, we got to keep going though because Rich Homie Swan had enough.
Yep.
And thus makes this match official at TNA Genesis. AJ Francis versus Rich Homie Swan. I'm mad that they kept it as digital exclusives building up to this match. I mean, we saw bits here and there on TV, but I was just like, it kind of sucks for both of them that it's been digital exclusive builds for this. I was like, come on, y'all, we could do better, especially for these two, especially Rich Swan. But anyhow,
you say especially for Rich Swan. I'm over here, especially for AJ Francis. It's
for both of them. How dare you? I was just like, not okay. The optics don't look great. So, alrighty. But after that little segment, you know, we get into the main event wrestling portion of the show. This is an 8-person tag team match. The System taking on the team of Leon Slater, Cedric Alexander, and the Hardys.
Dance for JDC. One more chance to. I can't think of a rhyme that quickly.
Like last dance. Anyways, so as far as the match itself goes, I was just like, it was fine. I still had fun. I mean, I do love the majority of the folks in here.
Sure.
So,
although,
and I mean,
that image of Moose still looks like he's crying.
Man, Moose has had a rough 2 weeks, man. He lost to Ethan Page over on NXT. He gets pinned in this match. Spoiler alert. So not looking good for Moose heading into Genesis. I'm just like, it's been a crazy week for Moose. It's been a crazy week for Leon Slater too. Watching him get ragged off by Obafemi on NXT television. But damn, man, Leon Slater killing it. And I'm just like, Carlos Silva, I know you've gone on paper to say that you would, if Leon wanted to go to WWE, like you would fully support him and all that, which is fine and everything. But you don't need to say it right now because I want Leon to stay here for a little bit.
Please don't.
Please don't.
Like,
I want him to become TNA World Champion at least before he goes.
Like, Carlos,
please.
Like, it's a platform. It's a platform for entertainment, not just something to sell to TKO. Okay,
please. I was just like, keep Leon. Yeah.
So it's funny. There was the person earlier in the show that came in and said hasn't watched wrestling since 2016.
Right.
That got me thinking, and just thinking about this, and thinking about where TNA is now, and thinking about how wrestling evolved from 2016 to now. That's 10 years. Mm-hmm. That's a decade of wrestling. Okay. And I've been thinking, and I've just sort of ruminating on it a little bit while we've been talking. And I think I've realized AEW saved wrestling. Because the AEW showed up, 2018, 2019, something like that?
Something like that.
So that's only 2 years without. So there's 2 years in there. And once again, that's kind of, but you're getting the buildup for that. You're getting, Jericho versus Omega in New Japan. Mm-hmm. You're getting, the Young Bucks and the Elite sort of getting together and realizing, hey, we could do this. Mm-hmm. You're getting Cody Rhodes in the Bullet Club. So you're getting sort of the buildup to that. And then when that happened and everybody kind of flipped their shit, that's when WWE, it's obviously WWE thought oh, whatever, it's another Ring of Honor, it's another DPW, it's another whatever thing. We don't have to really pay attention to them. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they threaten you, then you win. But at that same time, because think about like right around 2018, that's when we got Broken Matt Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also TNA. So like they get rid of Dixie Carter, they get rid of Hulk Hogan, they get rid of Eric Bischoff, and basically have to start from scratch, but still survive.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're able to get Matt and Jeff Hardy and pull off this masterstroke of a second act of his career, well, third act really, from Matt, of the Broken Matt Hardy thing and the whole Broken universe, is had to have been a direct response of basically them going, wait, there's another one we have to compete with now? Okay, now we have to make something better. Now we have to up our game and get in some of these really so whether it's big names that aren't working with WWE right now or these really promising names from the indies.
Mm-hmm.
And especially because at the same time, WWE is doing everything it can to snap up names from the indies through NXT. Because once this is the time period where you've got Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, all of these people that have already had huge followings in WWE via NXT, that they now have to very quickly start calling up to the main roster, because if they don't, now all their buddies from the indies are going over to this new guy that it's like, hey guys, the grass is pretty green over here.
Mm-hmm.
Might not much greener than what you have in WWE, but it's not even a matter of, and I'm not saying that I understand. I have biases. Everybody has biases. No, if you were to watch if you want an unbiased record of what happened, go read Wikipedia. But we are humans. And so we are going to have biases. Yes, I acknowledge biases. I like AEW better than WWE. I like TNA better than WWE. I like most wrestling promotions better than I like WWE.
I was gonna say.
But once again, without AEW, you don't get Roman Reigns' heel turn. Okay, they never would have pulled the trigger on turning Roman Reigns heel, and I understand a lot of it's because he had his leukemia came back, he had to go back for treatment, everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But when he comes back, and they turn him heel, they never would have done that because people were begging them to do that in the years leading up to the pandemic and up to that moment in wrestling. And they people were begging them, please turn him heel.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what you've tried cramming babyface Roman Reigns down our throats for years and it hasn't worked. Turn him heel. Let's see what he can do on that side of things. And they were like, no, he's the guy. He's going to be the guy. He's good. He's the guy for all time and blah, blah, blah. Without AEW, they're like, all right, we got to do something different. Turn Reigns heel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you get the bloodline, which, again, I don't like WWE, but credit where it's due. It's one of the best storylines they've had in years.
Mm-hmm.
It got a little bloated towards the end there, but that's that. Give me a storyline that didn't get bloated that went on. Give me a storyline that went on for more than a year that did not get bloated and annoying by the end of it.
Right.
That's the notion of, and honestly, that's why, quite frankly, that's why the Hollywood ending in AEW last year was one of the best things to happen, because that lasted a year tops. Mariah May and Tony Storm.
Yeah.
Perfect
three-act structure that worked. Yep.
Exactly. It was it was perfectly timed. It just, you didn't need anything else for that. That was the perfect timing of a run. Any longer, it would have gotten old, would have gotten boring, it would have gotten
100%
rubber match on top of rubber match on top of rubber match.
Still should have main evented, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Right. But even then, it leads up to WrestleMania 40.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best. Cody Rhodes finishes his story. And that's what more could you ask for? That, yeah, the bloodline kept going with Solo and blah, 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 blah. We're not worried about that. We're worried about that end. We're worried about that, got a little bloated, got a little old, but the ending stuck the landing.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, we don't have any of that without AEW showing up and saying, we've got some of the biggest names in the world. Kenny Omega is rated as one of the best wrestlers of his generation, if not of all time.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got to the rest of the industry? And a lot of the industry said, we've got your back. Let's join AEW, you know? But TNA wouldn't be as good as it is now, which it has its ups, it has its downs, it has its issues, it has its good moments.
Mm-hmm.
But it wouldn't be as good as it is now without AEW. Neither would WWE.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll say this because I'm like, you're right. We all, as wrestling fans, have biases. Like, I have biases towards certain companies for certain things, certain characters, certain wrestlers, right? But I'm just like, guys, there's nothing wrong with competition. Like, we need to stop with all that nonsense. Like, honestly,
it is definitely an instance of rising tide lifting all boats.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the problem though is that the boats being risen have guns. You know, the boats being raised are battleships. You know, so there's going to be some hostility towards the other guy, and they're going to try to sabotage the other boats, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, going back to this real quick, Leon and Cedric and the Hardys beat the system. But speaking of sabotaging, because TNA loves to sabotage itself from time to time. Listen, as much as I love TNA, I will be petty, especially when it comes to what is happening with Mike Santana. I was like, how the fuck do you give this man the title? We are not on television for a whole month. And then when we finally come back, like, then he loses it to some bullshit. But anywho, so we get this contract signing. And so Mike Santana, Frankie Kazarian inside of the ring with very depressed Santino Marella still.
Yeah. Okay. A contract signing with depressed Santino Marella is your main event.
That's crazy to me. I was just like, guys, this, we could have, again, we had all this in the can. We could have chose to put this somewhere else, but this is what we decided to do because we have the ANC premiere next week. I mean, it was a contract signing. I mean, nobody went through the table, which I was just like, well, I mean, that didn't happen. Let's just show the image.
That's my rule. That's my rule.
This is the big thing we're talking about, right?
My rule as a booker in any wrestling promotion: if you're doing a contract signing, someone's going through the table. That is my rule. I don't care how many things they've done there, how many times they're trying to be like, no, this is how like professional fighters do it. That's great. I don't watch wrestling because I want professional fighters. I watch wrestling because I want wrestling. Okay, I want the spectacle. I want it over the top. I don't want them to sit here going like, we're going to do the punchy thing against each other, and I'm going to put my fist against your face to signify that I'm going to beat you. It's like, no, that's not what I want. I want them to take the clipboard, sign their name angrily because it's definitely their signature and not just random scribbles that they're putting on it, and hit someone over the head with it, suplex them through the table, and call it a night. Okay,
but we got none of that.
And it hasn't happened the last few contract signing things I've seen, and it's getting annoying. There are tables, break them.
That's why they're there for. Like, come on, y'all. So, I mean, to kind of quickly summarize this, Franklin talks, Santana talks, you know, the internet takes things out of context, but whatever. They sign the contract. Nick Nemeth comes out, says he doesn't care who is holding that championship because he's cashing that trophy in on Thursday. And to me, that screams triple threat at Genesis.
But it's not going to be a triple threat, though. He's basically... This is him promising to do Seth Rollins shit.
God.
This is him promising that, like, no, you guys go ahead and have your match. And then as soon as you get that 3 count, you're not going to hear either of your music. You're going to hear mine because I'm going to be right down there.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, oh, Lord. We'll see how this goes next Thursday because we are officially at the AMC premiere. So before we sign off, I mean, like I said, next Thursday is one of our favorite things, a live episode of TNA.
Hey, they might not have the overhead shots because it's the AMC thing.
That is very true. But you know what? We're going to find out when I watch it later that night of how that goes.
If we sign on next week and all 2 to 4 of us have our cameras like this, you'll know why.
So before we sign off, though, to quickly go over, because we have a lot of things happening next Thursday at the AMC debut of TNA. We have, of course, Frankie Kazarian and Mike Santana for the TNA World Championship. We have Leon Slater versus Myron Reed, Part 2 for the X Division Championship. We have a 6-man tag team match of Order 4 taking on Elijah and the Hardys. And then just officially made, like during this episode too, when we were running down the Genesis card too, the Inspiration are defending the titles against the Elegance brands. And this is where I was just like, again? I'm like, gosh darn it, TNA, you can't help yourselves. But yeah, but still should be a very interesting show. We're going to see how that goes. And we will be here next Friday, not only to break down the AMC premiere episode, but we're also doing our predictions for Genesis.
That will be happening while we're recording.
Thank God, not this time, because the pay-per-view won't be happening until the following day on Saturday. So
delightful.
Which, by the way, we are BC WrestlePod will be doing a live watch along for Genesis. I will be here for sure. Papa also will be in the crowd, so I'm going to play Where's Waldo with him while we're watching too. So yeah, y'all should join us next Saturday. And yes, before anyone asks, no, I am not showing the pay-per-view because I love this channel and I'm trying to keep it from getting copyright striked. So no, you're going to have to explore the 7 seas of the internet somewhere else to watch. But anyways, oh man, but radio, we should never be left in the room alone when we're talking about professional wrestling. But God, I love talking wrestling with you because I have a good time with all of y'all. And so this is a fun show. I appreciate you being here, my friend.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, man.
Happy to do it.
Heck yeah. And yeah, we'll be back next Friday to review another exciting episode, hopefully, of TNA. But even if it's not entertaining, we will entertain ourselves. Get your minds out of the gutter. Anywho.
Blessed are we who can laugh at ourselves, for we will never cease to be amused.
For reals. But that's going to be it for us here at the Takedown Troupe. From all of us here at BC WrestlePod, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We will catch you for another exciting week of post-show breakdowns, starting on Monday with Wrestle Kingdom 20 for New Japan, because Lord help us, that was a card, and I cried. But until then, sayonara.
Don't we have another thing happening on Sunday too?
Oh yeah, that's right. Like tangentially related to BC WrestlePod, because it's like spinning off from BC WrestlePod, but kind of not really. But yeah, this Sunday, stay tuned because you're gonna see me and radio and some other nerds that you have seen here and other places as well, as we are launching our Dungeons and Dragons game that I've been working on for far too long. I'll be real. I've only been writing it for months, but even still, like a whole notebook has been filled, and we're going to destroy it within minutes. No.
We will absolutely. We are absolutely not going to derail this thing in 15 minutes. Why would you ever think that, Mikey? Why would you ever think that we would not go with everything that you've already planned and not, go into business for ourselves over our backstories or anything like that?
Translation, Mikey, when will you learn? No, but in all honesty, it's me grabbing a bunch of friends and we're just going to make absolute fools of ourselves. So if you want to see that chaos, come and join us on Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific, where we will be having session 0 of the 7 pedals. God, this caravan road trip is going to be a hoot, and I'm here for it. But that's going to be it for us here. So until next time, sayonara, adios, and we'll see you later. Peace.